These guys hit me in the face.
We got it all on video. Where's the camera?
Right here.
Good.
Remember this scene on the final day of the legislature. Longtime activist Mitch Kahle was arrested during a scuffle. Now, video of this confrontation has helped him prove in court he did nothing illegal. Good evening, I'm Keahi Tucker. Tanya has the night off. 7 months after he was hauled off in handcuffs and charged with disorderly conduct, a judge has found Kahle not guilty. But the story doesn't end there. Brooks Bear has a report you'll see only on Hawaii News Now. Brooks.
Keahi Mitch Kahle contends our state legislature has been violating both the U.S. Constitution and the state Constitution by praying during official business. And when lawmakers ignored his request to stop, he staged a brief but perhaps very effective protest. When Senate President Colleen Hanabusa pounded the gavel and introduced a reverend to deliver the daily invocation, Kahle was waiting.
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your love for us and the opportunity to be in this place.
My name is Mitch Kahle. I object to this prayer on the grounds that it's a violation of the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. I object.
Kahle's protest lasted about 7 seconds. Then he stopped talking and sat down. But the sergeant-at-arms was determined to remove Kahle. When he resisted, he was forcefully removed and roughed up.
And then what they did is to add insult to injury. They arrested him for disorderly conduct. And their disorderly conduct was allegedly based upon his standing up in the Senate chambers and voicing his opinion. He, as a U.S. citizen and a Hawaii citizen, have a right to do.
After watching video of the arrest, Kahle's attorney, William Harrison, was sure his client would be acquitted. And he was right. District Judge Leslie Hayashi needed less than an hour to find Kahle not guilty.
Number one, there's no disorderly conduct. Number two, he has a First Amendment right to speak in a public forum, such as he did. And number three, the legislature was violating our U.S. Constitution as well as the Hawaii Constitution by having these invocations.
Harrison thinks this case may be enough to convince lawmakers to stop saying prayers during official state business.
They make the law for the state, so they should recognize and understand what our Constitution says. And in fact, the court did express very much her concerns about what went on with regard to invocations in these public forums. And so the legislature, the city council, any other public entity on public property should be concerned and should heed the warning of this court in its ruling.
Last April, Kahle asked the Honolulu City Council to stop praying at its meetings, and it did. But Tarapo has stepped down as council chair, and Kahle says the prayer returned this past Monday under new chairman Nestor Garcia. I'm Brooks Bear for Hawaii News Now.
Mitch Kahle, the man who protested prayer sessions at the state capitol, has been acquitted of a disorderly conduct charge. In April, Kahle was removed from the state Senate chambers after he stood up to object to prayers that the Senate have said before their daily sessions. Kahle was taken outside where he was arrested for disorderly conduct. Last week, District Court Judge Leslie Hayashi found him not guilty. William Harrison, Kahle's attorney, said the judge ruled Kahle had a right to be there and a right to protest.
Well, hopefully the lawmakers will look at this case and understand that they cannot have these kind of prayers on public property. What the First Amendment says is you can't support religious activity. The state is not allowed to do that.
Harrison says he expects Kahle will continue to publicly object to prayer sessions at the legislature and at the city council.